I've waited for so long. I've waited for so long. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you.
What Adornment Stories does, what I think so wonderfully, and shout out to Adornment Stories in the room, we see y'all, so wonderfully, is we focus on intersectional mental health and wellness. We really focus on what it means for us to bring our fullness, the holisticness of our being to the table. When we think about wellness, we want to think about all the parts of who we are. And when we think about the parts of who we are, not just ourselves as individuals, but the folks we come with, our care circles, we think about all of those pieces when we're thinking about what it means to build a community of wellness. We focus on storytelling and have a myriad of programs that you may have seen on your timeline at some point, in which we're able to bring community together to gather and to celebrate and to be in loving community and connection and to work on transforming our stories.
The theme of this year, as we all know, is world building. We've been seeding it along to everything we've talked about, which really focuses on conversations centered on disability justice, on care, and imagination. We started obviously with intentionality, and intentionality can sometimes have a weight to it. But I want today to also be fun. I want for us to also find the moments of joy and care. I want for us to find moments of song. And so if I'm throwing something at y'all, throw it back at me, okay? Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging.
One of the things as we, as individuals, think about is what kind of world are we living in? What kind of world do we want to live in? Art has been my answer. It has also caused me to realize and joyfully figure out a world that I want to live in, a world that I want to create, a world that I want to help people be able to see.
I think, I've done quite a lot of activism work in my short years, and so much of the work that we do is like breaking things down, completely tearing it apart. And then you ask people, and then what do we build after that? And it's crickets. It's silence. And we forget that that's a part of it, right? Like what is that we are building towards? And if we don't know the histories, if we don't know the outcomes of fictional worlds, if we don't know the past, we could very much replicate what we are trying to actually break down. And so it's important for us to think about what are we actually moving towards? Like what is actually a vision for yourself, for your loved ones, for your communities, for your families, and what do you do to get there?
It was really easy for me to make the decision to come. I think, being here today, I was definitely right about that. Hearing all the wisdom in the room from other people, building connections again, the food, the laughter, everything about it feels like home to me, and it helps me feel a little less alone. Specifically about world building and community care, I think that's such an important piece of tackling the things that are happening in the world today, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it, and today just gave me some hope.
Our stories, our voices defined care as a way to ensure the well-being and safety of individuals. Emotional, mental, physical, social, spiritual, cultural aspects of care. All of those buckets pool together, and it's also important to observe that care looks different for everyone and relies on the interdependence within our communities and our broader society.
There was a lot of information that I really was processing through my mind, but the point that really stood out, and I guess the workshop that stood out, is disability justice. Being able to be educated on how people have done it within the 80s, the 90s, and current times, I was able to actually gain context. And if we wanted to fight for, just an idea, affordable housing in Toronto, how would we go about it?
You know, you're hearing me talk about disability, you're hearing me say disabled, you're hearing me say deaf, you're hearing me say mad, you're hearing me say these particular words, and I'm using this language intentionally. This is all reclaimed language. If disability is desirable, I can say I'm disabled, and I'm saying it actually with pride, with joy, with celebration is dripping from that word, right? So I can own and celebrate and honor being disabled. I can say my partner is blind, and they are, and this is, and I can say it with pride and joy in the way that I say it.
Many folks who I speak to wonder like how to get involved, stay involved, keep the energy going, take care of yourself while you're doing it. And my answer to that is go from your love language. So as a dancer, marching on the street, I think of choreography, I think of the production, I think of what we're wearing. All those things help to fuel my energy space, my imaginative space, and allows me to be safe while doing work that's necessary for our community. And it was dance. The reason like BLM was like, hey, Raven, come and teach us choreography. And I didn't really know that dance could be used for that purpose. I only knew it as something that was for entertainment, that was just fun and exciting and very hard, but it didn't really mean very much. And now I understand it like throughout history, dance is how we shared our stories, it's how we buried them, it's how we protected them. And so that's how I share my revolution through dance and movement and performance.
And so that's really the intention of this day. And as mentioned, in our world building, there's room for joy, there's room for fun. This is a space for you to take up, to be in this space and to allow yourself to, make new connections, build new friendships, and grow your experience of this community.